Well, hey folks, welcome back to Thrift Store Rescue, yet another episode. And on today's episode, we have a vintage 1960s Model 33 Sterno cook stove. And it comes with a little bit of a bonus. On the inside, there's a vintage Sterno can. Let's compare it to one of the new ones, a little bit smaller. Does the same job though. So we have a small issue with this cook stove. It's a folding cook stove. I'm going to bring you guys in a little closer here in a little bit, but it's folding and you have to work it a little bit here. Fold this back over here, and then it fits into your backpack really nicely. However, there's a small problem. This one is missing a clip right here. And today we're going to go ahead and repair that and make it a functional, well, it's still functional, but fully functional Sterno cook stove from the 1960s. So I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing, and let's get started. Okay, so here we are, a little bit up and close and personal. So on this thing, this little cook stove, there's these little, I don't even know what to call them, these little clips that fasten the sides to the very top. And they're made out of steel, and one of them is missing. Get this, hold it back a little bit. This one right here is missing. You can kind of see right here how it's in there. And on the top you can see how it's folded in on both sides. Well, I've been digging around. I picked this up, I don't know, a couple weeks ago for $6. And I've been digging around. I can't find anything on hand right now that's basically the same kind of steel that'll work. But I did find something that will work. It's right over here. It's a piece of copper. This is leftover from a project back in 2013. Bought it in Japan. You can see all the kanji on here. This little kanji over here means copper, and it's 1/2 millimeter thick. Plenty thick for what we're doing. So my thought process is, I'll make a new clip, but since copper is a lot weaker than steel, I can't just fold it over and expect it to stay. I think I could theoretically expect it to stay, but not long term. So my thought process is to make it to where the two top parts that come up out of here fold on top of each other, and then I'll just solder them together. So that's what I'm going to do. And I gotta somehow fashion it the same way these ones are made, and we're going to go through that struggle together and get it done. So I've got the copper here. You can see it's oxidized over the years. Had this for quite some time. This side's not oxidized. This side is definitely oxidized a bunch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off a piece here. Should I go straight up with what I think it is? No, I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and lop off a chunk here, and I can trim it to size. All right. So this looks like probably about 3/8 of an inch or so. And it does have a, on this side at least, it looks like it has a coat of plastic. Yep. Maybe that's what's making the discoloration, oxidization happen. All right, we're gonna get that off of there. Okay, so I'm gonna make a halfway solid guess here. That's about right about there. Okay. Pretty stinking close, actually. Well, that end's a little bit wide. I better try that again. I totally screwed that one up. I think this end is, no, still, all right, I'm gonna trim a little bit off. If I can, otherwise I'll recut it. Okay, now we're in the business here. This end right here is more of the thickness that's needed, or width that's needed. So we're gonna go ahead and snip off the end that's definitely too wide. Let's see how it fits the opening I gotta put it through. Okay, no problem. Fits through this side. Fits through there. Okay, now we need to shape it. And I'm using this little awl right here to get the radius. That's pretty close. Actually, that's pretty much right on the money. All right, let's try to fold it back and get it set up to be the right shape we need. Okay, we're halfway there, but I still need to take it and turn these to the vertical just right about there and right about there. Let's try it this way first. Got plenty of copper so I can, oh, that's working pretty good. Yep. I think we're onto something here. Try to square it up as best I can. Okay, I think that works. Let's test it real quick. And through these two slots here. Okay, that's working. Can y'all see that right there? Got these two leaves, if you want to call them, sticking out on that side. And then if I can get all these floppy bits out of the way, you can see that it's pretty much working right there. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's get it set up to fold it over on the top and solder it together. How much do I need? 3/8 of an inch or so. Snip off a little bit here. Better go this way. Alright. Now you can't just straight up solder this stuff, you gotta clean it. And there's some burrs on here that I'm just going to smash down with a pair of pliers. Then, got a little bit of sandpaper here. And we're going to go ahead and rough it up a little bit so it'll take the solder and the flux really good. Nope, I got a better idea. I got a file. Check this out. I got this Nicholson made in the USA file, new old stock, still in the same package, albeit a little bit torn up, at a thrift store. I think I paid $3 for it. There's no price on it, but I'm pretty sure I only paid like $3 or $4 for it. But this should work quite well. So, I need a block of wood. Let's get this set up on here and start cleaning this copper up so I can solder it together. Okay, and then this side is the side that, so this side is going to fold over this side. That means this side of this one needs to get cleaned up. And boy, am I in a predicament. Will this work? Oh, look at that. It'll work just fine. Pair of needle nose pliers, fits it perfectly. Get as much of that oxidization off of there. Nice clean copper. And it's not perfect, but I think it'll solder pretty good. So let's see how this circus is gonna work. I'm thinking, yep, I'm gonna have to like put it all together like it's meant to be ready for cooking. So I can get everything set up. All right, see there, it's right in there. This side comes up, the bottom comes in, and somehow I gotta make it all stay together. Okay, I got that thing to, nope, it didn't stay. All right, let's try that again. All right, that's in there. I need a third hand here. This is crazy. All right. We're gonna get it somehow. Okay, that's back where it's supposed to be. We'll tilt it, we'll use some gravity. There we go. Got it. This one's still a little crooked down here, so I need to finagle it a little bit. It's loosen it up on this side. Matter of fact, I'm going to disconnect that side completely from the bottom and only get the other side in. That way I got a little bit of freedom of movement here. This is way complicated, but I'm going to make it work. Because here in a little bit, we're going to do a boil test once I got it put together and see how long it takes to boil a, I don't know, a pint of water. Okay, I got it. I just don't need to let it move. All right, so how to do this without screwing it up. I'll put some pressure on here. This side needs to fold under, this side needs to fold over. Okay. Hey, I think we got it. All right, so our surfaces are prepped. We just need to get some flux in there. I got some good old solder, got my little torch. Let's see if we can make this happen and get this thing welded together with some solder so we can take this out camping and cook food with it. This is an old little tin of solder, but it's still good. Get it on there right away in the right place to where when I heat it up it flows underneath and cleans both sides. I'm going to put a little bit extra on here. It doesn't take much of this stuff, but you definitely want to have enough. There's a little chunk of something in there. Let's get that out of there. Not the cleanest tin of flux I have. All right, let's try heating that up just a little bit. We'll turn that down. All right, that flowed in there pretty good. Let's heat it up and see if we can get some solder to flow in there. Slow and steady is the way to go. You don't want too much heat too fast, otherwise you're going to have problems. So it's better to go to low heat. Bam! It sucked it in just like that. I think we got a winner. I think we got a winner. Some of this. Ooh, that thing got hot way over there. Yeah, that bonded. warm. Let's see how it goes folding up again. Let's wipe some more of that flux off of there. Yeah, I think we got it here. Get a close-up look. Right there. That's the little loop we just put in there. On this side, the solder took really good. And I think we got it fixed. So, let's try folding it up. And it folds up quite nicely. Very good, very good. All right, I think it's time to do a little bit of a test boil on this thing. So here's how it works. I'll unfold it in sequence. It's gonna stick in a little bit because it's not quite the same as the rest, but it's holding. Here it is, fold it up. Unfold this, unfold this, unfold this side. Swing your door out, and we're upside down right now, but bring this in, and there's these little clip things, whatever they're right there, and you want to get underneath those with both sides and put it right there, flip it over, and you're good. And then you can take your Sterno can right here and stick it in. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to put it up with my can collection. I might show you guys that someday. But I got a new Sterno, and I don't want to do it right on top of this, so we're going to do it right on top of this piece of copper. A little bit of a heat shield. So we'll set the stove right here. Get rid of that. Here's our Sterno. Bunch of green jelly in there. So this goes in this side, open the door. Stick it right in there on the center. Close the door. So for today's boil test, we're using a vintage Boy Scouts cook kit. This is an old one. I collect them actually. I got a few, but this one's special, really special. I'm going to show you in just a second. Let me get it opened up. I'll show you why it's special. Let's get the frying pan handle screwed into place. This is the, I get it apart. This is your plate, right? Okay, we're not going to use that today. There's your frying pan. We're not using that today either. But here's the pot. Nothing spectacular, but let's look at what's inside. If I can get it open. It's a little, it's been used a bit. But inside we have the aluminum cup, not the plastic one that you see in a lot of them these days, but the aluminum one. That's pretty cool. All right, we don't need that. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna put this pot on here, and we're gonna stick half of this bottle of water into it, and then we're gonna see how long it takes to start to boil. That's about half right there. And we're going to do it no lid. so take that out the side. Let me get my timer going. I'm going to set that up right here. The glare of the light, I don't know. Should I aim it like, yeah, probably need to put something, oh, an old Sterno can. We'll put that right here. That way you guys can see. Why did it turn to the camera? All right. Now we're gonna light it, put the pot on it, hit the timer. Well, I'm gonna light it, then I'll hit the timer when I put the pot on it. All right, got some heat waves coming off. Ooh, definitely lit. All right, so let's get this started and see how long it takes to boil. I'm going to speed this part up, obviously. Yep, definitely burning. I gotta open the garage door, so because it's starting to smoke a bunch. 5.5 minutes in. Should be getting close. I know it'd be boiling a lot faster if I put the lid on, but I want to do an open air test. Six minutes in. There's a little bit of glare on a light here. You can see the timer better. Starting to bubble a little bit on the bottom there. Once we're at a rolling boil, we're going to go ahead and stop the timer and call it quits. Getting there, where we at 7:13, 7:14. I would imagine we definitely have a boil by 10 minutes. That's what I'm thinking. Eight minutes and counting. I don't think we're going to boil unless I put the lid on. Let's put the lid on and see what happens. All right, lid went on at about 8 minutes 20. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could have got a boil a lot faster if I left the lid on the entire time. But it is what it is. We're just testing and seeing what things do. Nine minutes and 7. This thing ain't boiling about 12 minutes. We're calling it quits. But it's definitely heating water up. But the test is to boil it so you can make clean water that's safe to drink. That's what it really comes down to. 10:30. Still no boil. All right, we're going to 12. We're gonna go to 12. And if it doesn't boil by 12, I got something that'll make it boil. $11 minutes and 7 seconds right now. Yeah, 12 minutes. I'm killing the timer. I'm gonna put something in there that'll make it boil. It's still going. Still producing a lot of heat. 11:35. Not looking good for this new type of Sterno can. Like I said though, I got a fix. $11.50. 55. Still no boil. Well, it's 12 minutes. We're gonna fix that and we're gonna make it boil. All right, let's get the pot off of there real quick. Look, it's still a nice hot flame, but I'm about to put it out so I can make this thing boil. Let's actually slide it this way. Let's open the door. How do I get this thing out of here? All right, so I gotta put this out first. The way you're supposed to do that is put the lid on it. Let it go out. And I'm gonna go get my accelerant. Here's my accelerant. Heat in the yellow bottle. Do not try this at home. Gotta make sure this thing is completely out before I even think about pouring any of it in there. All right, that's out. This will make it boil. This is wood alcohol, methanol. And when you burn alcohol, you have to be very careful because it burns invisible. Makes a blue flame. So don't do this at home. Now, let's make it boil. Oh, that's a lot hotter. Put the lid on. Need some boiling action. This should not take too long. Actually, back when I did a lot of catering, I would buy the Sterno cans, and when they ran out, I would actually pour heat in the yellow bottle into it, straight alcohol, and use that because it was cheaper than buying the Sternos. They were like $3.50 each, but you can get a whole bottle of this for $2.50, $3, and they'll fill 3 of these. I can already hear some action in there. It's about to boil. It's about to boil. I can hear it. Way more heat coming off this now. A lot more heat. Almost there. I should have put the alcohol in it first and then put the lid on, and yeah, it would have been boiling already twice over. There we have it. We have a rolling boil. Perfect. So now we know. Bring your sterno, bring a little heat, and you can get it boil really quick. Now it's dying off a little bit because I took the lid off, but good test. I like it. I'm going to add this little camp stove to my camping collection gear, and we'll go out and use it someday. Well, there you go, folks. Another thrift store rescue, and it was a success. So I'm going to add this to my camping collection, all my gear, and I got a lot more. I got a lot more stuff I'm picking up at thrift stores that we're going to go through and resurrect and make them better, or at least as good as they were when they were first built and intended. So the best way to support this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and most of all, please share this video on all of your social media platforms. I'll catch you around. Laters.